the motherland. Peace to we the people. So, you see, you got a bunch of gurus up here now trying to steer the crowd. You got gurus trying to tell you about a promissory note, you know, and this and that, because it's all about the creation of content. They're content creators, so they have to catch your view within the content. So you see, people like me who really know and is on this path of freedom, you know, we get kind of pushed to the side, our YouTube channels. I don't even monetize because, you know, I just don't monetize. I don't know why I don't monetize. I just don't. But the bottom line is that banking is where everything is at. So your banking is a trust. The banks that you go in to open up accounts and become a depositor to, the bank itself is a trust. So basically, you sign all your assets over to the bank when you open up the account. Now the bank has a right to go into the treasury, federal, where's the full disclosure? I mean, you could read the contract and still don't understand the contract, but you sign the contract because desperate at the moment, because they know that you need, taught us to believe that. So banking is how they dupe and get everybody to sign over their assets. So what's ill is that a lot of people will sign their trust up with the bank. Okay, trust. Yeah, they keep trying to cut the live because of the content that I'm talking about, trust. So the trust that you set up, you can have your family trust set up. It's all different type of trust that you set up to take you through life. So basically, the bank, how are you going to fund your bank, your trust? You can do a lot of several different things to fund your bank. The socks you wear is an asset. You know what I'm saying? Anything you have is an asset to fund your trust, your bank. Now, some say that you need to go all the way to the superintendent of your state when creating a bank. But now that bank is a commercial bank who has a superintendent over it instead of you. So you got to understand bank. You know, were you banked on the shores? What is a bank? How do you function as a bank? Every day, everybody are walking cash machines, walking ATMs. People are banks. We do transactions every day. We are transfer agents. You are a transfer agent. You don't need a degree or a certificate to be a transfer agent. You are already a transfer agent. Every time you walk into a store and make a purchase, you just transferred whatever tender of payment you use, credit card, cash, debit. That's your tender of payment. which makes you a transfer agent. So, it's a lot of BS going around, but it's simple. If you study your banking laws, you can pull the real truth out of the laws, because they have hidden the banking laws for a long time, over 600 years. Over 600 years, banking laws have been hidden from the people. So bank on yourself. You have to bank. You have to bank on everything that is truly bankable. So, what is bankable? How do I create my bank? How do I fund my bank? So people had to, bankers had to create a bunch of secrets because they need you to join their bank. And if you join their bank, they need the social, they may need the business EIN, they need your driver's license. This is all of the credentials, identifications that a bank needs before they can approve a bank account for you. You go in with trying to get bank accounts under certain other numbers like a CPN. Some people can, and some people have done it. But the bottom line is that the tax return at the end of the year, when the bank has to file taxes, that's when they know that if it was a CPN, it's not going to go through, which brings that back into your court, why the IRS would come after you. Because now it looks like that you have committed some type of fraud. The bank will turn it on you. So you really got to watch out with the things that you do with dealing with banks, commercial banks, because the commercial banks have somebody that they have to answer to. People are telling you, sign up your trust. Sign your trust so your trust can be the beneficial owner. You already are the beneficial owner. You don't need the trust to sign up for the bank, because the social is the beneficial owner once you know how to control the social and notarize BC. Okay, court, state, some people do it on a federal level, but then you have to take it all away and put it on a congressional record through Minnesota. So, nothing free in life, and there's nothing free with the information, because the information that I just dropped to you, you probably going to go look it up, but you still got to have to spend money. So, you're going to have to learn the tricks to the trade of your paperwork. And the tricks to the trade of paperwork is to restate the whole contract. You have to restate the entire contract. People dip in and out of here because they're looking for what they can do, get some free info. But what I'm dropping, you're going to have to look it up, because you got people that live the process every day. And then you got people that just drop in, want to hear an earful, and then go sell it. You can't even sell this information without somebody coming after you to threaten your life. They might want to try to run you off the road. They'll stop your money. It's a lot of things. That's why you really can't sell certain things. And if you are selling it, you only can go so far with that before they will take you down. You know what I'm saying? You see how Pastor Freedom's name is getting taken down. You see how you got these other gurus that was selling a lot of information. If you listen to the Pastor Freedom tapes, YouTube's Ignorance Be Gone, they were in cahoots together, straight up. So, Ignorance Be Gone. If Pastor Freedom made $2 million, then how much did Ignorance Be Gone made? Or was he upset that he got a very small cut of the money that Pastor Freedom made? Straight up. All the people that have been going against Pastor Freedom, were they upset that they didn't get a bigger cut, or they didn't get a cut at all? Because a lot of what Pastor Freedom was talking about, some of that stuff is straight on point, but you got to study, and she probably was at a whole nother level, and then she probably could have left out a lot of stuff, information, if you notice that the information was only being given for those who paid for it. So, cash rules everything around me. Cream, get the money, dollar bill, y'all. So you see Federal Reserve got you running around nuts so for some money. Federal Reserve created their own notes. You can create your own note, your own money. You can create that. Anybody can create their own money, but you got to have two pieces on the board to even create your own and to stand on it. And then to give, notification and let people know that, this is what I'm doing, yada, by way of affidavit, by way of UCC, straight up, everything, notarized, authenticated, barcoded, copyright. You know what I'm saying? Copyright is the trademark. Did they tell you that? You see what I'm saying? These people, bankers, the ones that are out there, you are a depositor in their trust. So you're depositing your money into their trust. So you really gotta, that's up to you. Nobody can tell you to stop what you're doing. You're depositing money into somebody's trust. Why don't you just deposit the money into your own bank? Yeah, you can get you a life insurance policy, whole life. And they say that is the bank. But why is it that you got to wait 2 or 3 years before you can even start cashing out on it? I have a problem with that. If you're, and then you're still using an insurance broker who is being a transfer agent who is getting a percentage of what you just signed up for. And you got to go through them to even get your money. And this is your bank. So the whole life insurance policy thing, is kind of out there too. Why is it that you just can't create your own bank? And it's very inexpensive to put it on a record. That's what we do here. Private banking. 407-300-5377. You know what I'm saying? You got to get with the United States Private Enterprise Free State. This is a public announcement from the United States Private Enterprise Free State. 407-300-5377. We do give consultations. It's not free. We do have several classes, and the classes are 2-hour classes. The private banking class is a 2-hour class. The postmaster class is a 2-hour class. The judge class is a 2-hour class. The UCC class is a 2-hour class. We have the Family Crescent. That's a 2-hour class. You know, these classes are needed because they build your 4 pillars. Once you have those 4 pillars, you can do what the hell you want to do, you know, because you paid your money, you set up shop. Now you can go stand on whatever it is that you want to make law and you believe in. That's the bottom line, my people. You know, everybody thinks that the process is, 1, 2, 3, and you got some dough that quick. No, no, no. It's not that easy. But in one aspect, it can be that easy if you go through one of the other organizations that I'm not even going to say, and you still would have to do a UCC, if you want an affidavit, but then you still got to fill out their paperwork and you have to send it into their office. But you would have to let them know that this is not a gift. I am not gifting you any of my interest anymore. Have you ever gave me some type of residual, kickback, dividend? No, they don't give you anything. Because I'm seeing it in the other banks. People that set up their trust, they're trading your trust. If you put if you are setting up your trust in somebody else's bank, you just gave them the right to trade your trust. People are not telling you that shit because they themselves didn't know it. The only way that you start to see that is that when you are in your banking portal and you see that the trust is collecting a dividend, and it's not a high dividend, it's a small dividend because they're hijacking you. So that is why you have to set up your own bank. Setting up your own bank is key to what you have to do. Get at the United States Enterprise Free State, 407-300-5377. I started this process in the year 2020. This is the year 2025. I was free in the year 2021, but I was truly free in the year 2022 and had put notices everywhere on UCC. But when you start to get into the other part of this game, the other part of the game is driving, traveling. Okay, it's good to have a driver's license because sometimes, you are on the road and you are doing commerce. So a lot of people need to stop the fucking lying. And then you are on the road and you are a traveler. Traveling can be anything, and you can travel any way you choose to travel. So if you travel, you could travel by foot, you could travel by boat, you could travel by plane, you could travel by air balloon, you could travel by automobile, pick and choose your conveyance. But you need to have it documented. You know, it's a lot that we can teach you here at the United States Private Enterprise Free State, because the process is a process that everyone, when they wake up on a certain level, they start filing paperwork. Because, you know, it's like, how many lifetimes have you been here? Hmm. You know, people want to count. You don't really know unless you're tapping into your past life and how many past lives you've been here where you knew nothing about this process. It's like this process just all of a sudden popped up out of nowhere. The process, boom, damn. So there's a timeline. But what I've noticed is that the timeline is that when you click on to YouTube or any of these platforms, you know, social media, it's all based off of your mindset. So if you're a pedophile, you're going to look at a bunch of pedophile shit. If you're someone for banking, you're going to look at a bunch of banking shit. If you want freedom and a process to get your ass up and out of what you in, you're going to be looking for that type of literature and social media. So you are an injured party. You've been injured since you was a baby born in their hospital. You've been injured, you know, and that's what you have to base everything off of when you're going in to make your claim. This is from day one. And you have the right because you were a baby. And as a baby, you had no say so. You did not have a voice. You know, you were unconscionable of anything that was going on. You were a newborn into an atmosphere, into a dimension that you knew nothing of, but you wanted to get here. So you chose your parents, you know. So, you know, discovering past lives is a lot to do with this process. Because if you're doing the process right now and you're knee deep, head deep into the process, then you already know that you don't even look at life the same no more. Life is a whole different ball game for people that really do this process and stand by it. And don't let nobody sway you or steer you a whole nother way because you're too smart for it because you've studied it. You know when somebody is lying about something in the process of this game. Straight up. You know, see, it's people like me that they want to not that a lot of people come and steal the information that I speak on. Like another cat got up on Yusuf L's show talking about the 521 document. I've been on the 521 document 3 years ago. But who in their right mind is going to file a 521 document to stop and rescind the SSN when the SSN is the claim that you have to make for everything that they have stolen from you in your state? So why would you rescind your SSN when you can control that SSN and make a nigga bow to the SSN and do your bidding? So you can't listen to the dumb shit when somebody's telling you to rescind an SSN, which is the 521 form in the SSA department. Okay. For fact, what's his name? Patrick Devine he did a rescission through the SSN form, and then he reversed it because they stopped all his money because everything that he ever made was running through the SSN. Remember, the SSN is attached to all your EIN numbers. So if they really want it, you will be stopping everything that SSN is over. It's over all your EINs because you can't get an EIN number without using the SSN unless you are doing your own CPNs. So, you know, people, y'all really gotta wake up. You really gotta tune in to the right people. And the United States Private Enterprise Free State is one of the realest in the game, straight up. It ain't nothing free here, straight up, nothing free. Yes, this is the United Enterprise Free State because we are a free people. We are a free soul. We are free spirits. We are free energy. But ain't nothing free dealing with information. Just like I had to pay, you got to pay. So, like I'm saying, banking is everything. They are the biggest dupesters on the board. Bankers, okay? If you don't have court and state, then you're just a pawn in the game. And you wonder why your cases get lost because pawns don't win. They get knocked off, and reused. Usury. So you need your two pieces on the board straight up. You need your domicile. The domiciles is the castle. Those are the end pieces. That's who's in the castle. The king, the queen, the bishop, the rook, the knight. Okay? So you got the king, the queen, the bishop, the rook, and the knight, and the castle. That's 12 pieces. It's really 6 pieces on the board, but 12 because everything is doubled. Because there's 2 sides of the board. If you look at that, you have 2 sides of your own board. The other side has 2 sides of their own board. And then it's 2 sides to the board. So you have 2 ledgers on your side. Your opponent has 2 ledgers on their side. And then the board has 2 ledgers itself. It's 2 ledgers itself. So you got 6 ledgers on a chessboard. Do you understand the rationality behind it? You have to understand how to manipulate the ledgers. And that's all they do. Because they own their ledgers. Their ledgers are not under anybody else. That is why you have to create your own ledger. And that's some true shit. You do have to create your own ledger. You have to keep your own books. You have to have your own ledger books for everything that you're doing. You have to have everything. Because you might be called upon to testify. Let me see your books. Here's the books. Here's all the mailings I've done, certified mailings, registered mailings. It's all right here. Here it is. Let them read it. Okay. They keep telling you about a forensics file in banking, an audit. Okay. So audit them niggas if that's the case. I heard the audit for the blue. It's like $2,000 to get one. It's up to you. The game, as I always say, is rigged. To unrig it, you have to step out of it and create your own. You can't win in a rigged game. You can have a stalemate in a rigged game, and that's only because you created your own, because now you're back and forth through the mail, court to court, state to state. That's straight up. If you got the proper laws constitutions, yada, yada, and treaties, then it's a stalemate. They can't act upon it. They can't go no further. And if they do cause harm, it's a case, and it's karma, because everything you do, there is an invisible entity, spirits, souls that are watching. So if they were to cause you harm, the harm goes back to them immediately. All the money they have stolen has to be returned. All the interest that they have stolen, all the houses, all the mortgages, all the land that they have stolen have to go back to you. You know, that's the bottom line. All that was stolen must be returned to you. And if it's not, then, you have to file a claim. You are the one that has to endure throughout this whole ordeal, that when you really wake up and you see what you're really in, that's when your eyes open, the veil drops, and some people cry, some people get vindictive, and they just go after the system. It is what it is. But, you know, it's all yours anyway. If you went after the money from the bankers, it's yours anyway. They already know it's yours. Okay? You can give a promissory note. You could give a bill of exchange, call it a bill of exchange note. Get it notarized and authenticated. Every you know, bill, or every negotiable instrument that you create, get it notarized and authenticated at the county, at the state, and if you want to, federally, it's up to you. But remember, county and state, federal is totally different. So everything is what you make it out to be when you create it. No one can yay or nay on your creation. You know what I'm saying? They don't have to participate in your creation, but they cannot bring your creation any harm because it's your creation. If you notarized your creation, authenticated your creation, you know, copyright your creation, which the copyright is the trademark, barcoded your creation, and you UCC'd your creation, affidavit your creation, you know, been, you know, DBA your creation. It's all solidified on the records because it's all about creating a record. So a DBA is a record. A copyright trademark is a record. Everything is a record. Your barcode is a record because you have to have a barcode on every document you send out. You have to. If you are not barcode anything, then it can be stolen. You also have to put your imprints, your symbolism, your seals, your flags, everything has to be on your documents. Especially if you're authenticating and notarizing down at the county, because you can get some clerks who will securitize your document because you didn't put anything on the document that protects the document from not being securitized by somebody else. They cannot securitize a document that has seals, flags, barcodes. They can't, but they can monetize and securitize that signature you just put down there with that county clerk. If you don't have none of that on your document, you know, now you want to be a notary, you can be your own notary. That's their rules and laws. When you become your own state in court, you create. So you are the notary for your own state, your own court. Okay. And that's real. Okay. And we show you how to do that here at the United States Private Enterprise Free State. You know, everything is documented. You know what I'm saying? Everything is documented. Everything is copywritten. Everything is trademarked. Copyright is the trademark. Okay. You want it, you still copy across the board. That's what you want. Straight up. Because at this point in the game, my people, you are the only one that can do this. The United States Private Enterprise Free State can teach you to fish for life. Okay? The information that you take in our class, you fish for life. And you can show others how to fish. Okay? And not be hungry. Okay? Like, how can we help, you know, people like down and look to that, sit outside like that on the street with their couches and their beds? You know, I mean, I've fed homeless people before. I've given money to homeless people, and that's just something you do. Because you never know when you might be in that position. You know, so the game is spiritual. You know, heaven must be missing one angel. It's missing a lot of angels, straight up. You know what I'm saying? You have to dig deep within yourself in this process. Yeah, you're going to cry sometimes with this process. You're going to get angry.